Thoroughbred Action is presented by Hardacre Farm.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this Thursday edition of Thoroughbred Action. Jason Blewett joining you on just a picture-perfect Thursday here in Hallandale Beach. We've got 10 races to bring you on the show tonight, so let's send it up to Pete Aiello for track conditions and this lovely weather.
Another perfect day for weather in South Florida. Temperatures in the low 70s. The sun is out. The main track is fast. The turf course is firm. And the first of 10 on the turf at 1 mile. Claimers in for a price tag of $35,000. Scratch the 1 and 2, a field of 6. The favorites were 6 Adventist and 8 Indian Guide. Racing at Gulfstream. From the center, Zafiro and Baltic Art begin well. What Power has speed. The Canadian import, Rememberin' Mickey, not far away. In fact, Rememberin' Mickey now lands second behind the leader, Baltic Art. What Power is third. Zafiro outsprinted, but taken in hand to be fourth. The two at the back are Adventist and the trailer Indian Guide. Around the first turn they go, separated by 5.5 lengths, and Baltic Art and Joel Rosario call the shots with a 1.5 length advantage. Remembering Mickey is second, just to the outside of What Power, who's now third. Gap of 3 to Zafiro and 4. Adventist is now fifth, and at the back is Indian Guide. They race into the backstretch now. They complete the opening quarter mile in 23 and 2. And Baltic Art has the lead. Off cover early is Remembering Mickey to be second, sending What Power 3 wide in third. It's a gap of 3 to Zafiro, who's racing in fourth now. Indian Guide improves a spot, and Adventist is last of all behind a 47-second half mile. Less than half a mile to go, they swing to the far turn. Baltic Art maintains a narrow lead. In the 3-path, What Power. In the 2-path, Remembering Mickey. Zafiro looks like he's got some horse, needs some place to go. Indian Guide gets started, albeit 3 wide, and Adventist is last of all. He's the first race favorite, and he's 5 lengths off the lead with less than a quarter of a mile to go. Baltic Art has the lead. Jockey Amisael Jaramillo begging for racing room for Zafiro. He gets him into the 2-path, and now he has some place to go, but Baltic Art has a kick. It's Baltic Art on top by 2.5. Zafiro is second. Adventist, too much to do. Remembering Mickey's still there for third. Baltic Art all the way to the wire. Baltic Art and Joel Rosario gate to wire. Second Zafiro, third Adventist, and fourth Remembering Mickey in 1:35 and 3. Number 5, Baltic Art ships in from Pennsylvania and takes him gate to wire to kick off the Thursday card. Well handled on the front end by Joel Rosario for Mike Trombetta and owners Frederick Seitz and John Kelly. Second for Zafiro, ahead of the favorite, number 6, Adventist, who had to settle for third. To the second race now at 6 furlongs over the main track. Start of the early pick 4, a field of 7 in for a price tag of $6,250. The off-time favorite on the major class drop, number 1, Sarge. And they're off. From the outside, Key the Storm wins the break and tries to establish a clear advantage. Down at the inside, Zach's Image comes away to race in second. Equity and You Are Flatter together third and fourth. Then back to Twas Nero ahead of Sarge, and the stretch running Dreamin' of DeWild is last of the 7 as Key the Storm paves the path. It's Key the Storm and Eddie Nunez past the half-mile pole on a 3-length lead. Zach's Image is second. You Are Flatter is third. Equity is fourth. Here's the favorite, Sarge, picking it up nicely toward the rail. Sarge with a sharp move. He's into third, and he's going to challenge for second as Key the Storm sails through the opening quarter in 22 flat. It's Key the Storm around the far turn at the 5/16 in front by 4 lengths. Here's a sharp move from Sarge. He's all the way up into second. Zach's Image tries to keep pace with him, well clear of the others, led by Twas Nero with a quarter of a mile left to go. On between horses to Sarge to take the lead. That's all for Key the Storm. Zach's Image is next. Twas Nero. He's in with a shot toward the inside, and he's set down by Quinones with 1/8 of a mile to go. 4 to 5 looking like pretty easy money as Sarge is edging away. It's Sarge and Jover Chamafi on the major class drop to win it easily. They won it by 4-5. Second, Twas Nero, and Dreamin' of DeWild gets up to be third. Zach's Image finished fourth. Favorite makes it look easy to kick off the early pick 4 is number 1, Sarge. Powers to his easy score under Jover Chamafi for trainer Eddie Plisa Jr. and owners Lori Plisa, Leon Ellman, and Dave Mellon. 4, Twas Nero at a nice price for second, ahead of the 2, Dreamin' of DeWild. He got rolling too late, had to settle for third. We'll take a brief time out. When we come back, we'll continue with Thursday's action. Don't go away.
Pegasus World Cup Invitational is January 27th at Gulfstream Park, and that weekend we have something new, the Pegasus World Cup Betting Championship. I'm lucky to be joined enough by two guys who will be playing in this tournament, including
Ray Arsenault, defending NHC champion.
And
Hi, Acacia. I'm Ross Gallo. I'm a 13-time NHC qualifier and also a member of the NTRA Players Committee.
we're so excited for it. Join us here at Gulfstream Park. $500,000 expected pool, no entry fee if played on site. This is for the players.
Back now for the third race of the afternoon. 2-year-old fillies over the main track at 1 mile. They're in for a price tag of $25,000. Scratch number 1, About a Dream, a field of 6. Favorites included the 4, Savannah Roxana, and the 6, 40 kilos. And they're off. 40 kilos away well, so is Zarabanda, but she's veering sharply to the outside, and she'll now take up the running to put ahead in front. 40 kilos drops over to the inside and lands second. Here's the Canadian invader, Savannah Roxana, moving between horses, then at the rail in Sierra Leona. 3 back to Casual Caro, and the trailer is Miss Lotus Flower. They exit the chute and hook up with the main course, and it's the odds-on favorite, 40 kilos, in front 3 parts of a length. On the outside, Zarabanda is second, Savannah Roxana is third. At the fence in Sierra Leona from fourth, behind a 23-3 opening quarter. They've opened 6 on Casual Caro, who's 4 clear of Miss Lotus Flower. The race now to the half-mile mark of the contest, and the leader is still 40 kilos. Joel Rosario has her on a 2-length lead. Savannah Roxana is second, Sierra Leona is third. Zarabanda losing ground to be fourth, 5 ahead of an improving Miss Lotus Flower, who gets inside of Casual Caro at the back. After a 46-4 half-mile, Rosario let the leader roll as 40 kilos maintains an advantage of a neck. Savannah Roxana is alongside the leader second, Sierra Leona third. Casual Caro begins to make some headway. She's had plenty of pace to chase. She's into fourth and 6 lengths off the lead with a quarter of a mile left to go. 40 kilos maintains an edge, but here's Savannah Roxana and here's Sierra Leona and Louise Saez. She continues to run on pretty well, and Sierra Leona has the momentum at the top of the stretch. Sierra Leona now goes to put ahead in front. In fact, she's moved away to a length and a half lead. 40 kilos went too fast too soon. Versus Savannah Roxana's second. She's challenged by Casual Caro, but the winner at 9-5 is Sierra Leona. Sierra Leona kicking away to win it by 4 in the end. It's going to be very close for second between Savannah Roxana and Casual Caro at 140-1. 40 kilos did too much too soon, and number 2, Sierra Leona, continued at that grind-away pace, and she wore down the leaders, kicked clear for the score under Louise Saez, trainer Chad Summers, and owners Jay Stables. 4, Savannah Roxana just held second, ahead of the 5, Casual Caro, who finished third. We move now to the 4th race, maiden claimers on turf at about 7.5 furlongs. Price tag here, $35,000. A field of 10 signed on. Favorites included the 2, Crave, and the 6, Front Row Debbie. And they're off. From between horses, Take a Stroll wins the break. Sent Hard is Candy Sue from the rail. One Direction Song makes it a party. They're 3 across the course as they run into the first turn. Followed by the team of Crave and Samurai's First Lady. They're about 4 lengths off, a pretty quick early pace. Heading Home is next. Then up on the outside goes Looking Good Carol, followed by Front Row Debbie. Julia's Pride settles in second last for Joel Rosario, and Talented Divas last of all as Candy Sue makes a break for it up front. Candy Sue at a big price into the backstretch with a 4-length lead. On the second is Take a Stroll, a gap of 4 to One Direction Song third. Crave on the outside fourth. Then it's Samurai's First Lady down at the rail for Jorge Ruiz. Parked on her outside is Looking Good Carol. Then Heading Home, Front Row Debbie is next. A gap of another 4 to Julia's Pride, who's patiently ridden at the back of the field, and 4 clear of Talented Diva as they start to get to Candy Sue. In fact, she's been inhaled. Candy Sue passed now by One Direction Song and Take a Stroll. Samurai's First Lady is next. Crave on the outside. Then Heading Home, Front Row Debbie is next. Julia's Pride starts to get underway. Looking Good Carol is 3 wide and on the attack, and 5 to the trailer Talented Diva as they run to the top of the stretch. One Direction Song has the lead. Take a Stroll on the outside second. Crave 3 wide and on a move from third. Samurai's First Lady looks for racing room. Far outside Looking Good Carol with Heading Home, and they turn in. It's One Direction Song on top. Samurai's First Lady coming between horses. Julia's Pride's on a roll, but she needs to angle out. Front Row Debbie is next as Crave tries to get to One Direction Song. One Direction Song and Crave. Crave for a head in front. One Direction Song right back at her. That is really close. It comes down to the bob. Who got it? One Direction Song or Crave in 130-2. Very close finish in today's fourth race, but the bob and the victory to number 4, One Direction Song at a nice price prevails under Edgard Zayas for trainer Dave Casson and owner David Alter. 2, Crave was second. 6, Front Row Debbie finished third. To the fifth race now on the start of today's Rainbow Six. Maiden claimers on the main track at 1 mile. Price tag here $12,500. Scratch the 1 and 8, a field of 6. The heavy favorite was number 5, Can Go. And they're off. The favorite was away very well. Grand Fortress reaches out for the early lead. Leo's Candy has speed on the stretch out. Far outside Bull Roarer and Can Go not far away. The 4 favorites line up for the lead as they run out of the chute. It's Can Go, Leo's Candy, and Grand Fortress up on the far outside Bull Roarer. So really nothing decided in the early stages. Working 3 ahead of Clemson and Watson. And the one that's not keeping up at the back of the field is HD Calculation. They leave the chute after an opening quarter in 24-1, and the leader is now Grand Fortress. In front by a neck, Can Go. On the outside is second, Bull Roarer, 3 wide in third. Now moving up on the inside, fourth is Clemson and Watson from Leo's Candy in fifth. He got to shuffle a bit now, and then it's a gap of at least 10 to the trailer, HD Calculation. They make their way past the half mile and swing to the far turn. 47-3 for the opening half mile. Grand Fortress the leader. Can Go's in a tough spot between horses. 3 wide Bull Roarer. Clemson and Watson has an upset possibility from there. Whip is out on Leo's Candy, trying to stay close to the top flight runners. And HD Calculation's a long way behind with less than 5/16 to go. The leader is Grand Fortress, tackled outside by Bull Roarer. Alvaro Doniz and Clemson and Watson going to try to spoil the party. What a beautiful run through he's going to get. Clemson and Watson secured the rail. They tried to shut him off, but he made it through. And Clemson and Watson now put in tight, but he has the lead. Grand Fortress is second. Back to third is Bull Roarer. Then it's a distance back to the rest, led by Leo's Candy. Can Go is pulled up as they come to the wire. Clemson and Watson at 11-1 will win it by a length and a quarter. Grand Fortress was second. Bull Roarer a well-beaten third. And HD Calculation from far back to finish fourth. Number 5, Can Go, eased inside the final furlong, but number 3, Clemson and Watson takes advantage of a perfect trip given by apprentice Alvaro Doniz, who looked like a polished journeyman inside the final quarter of a mile of this race. Tyler Gaffleone could do nothing about it aboard the runner-up Grand Fortress. Clemson and Watson at 11-1. Rontos Racing Stable Corporation, the winning owners. Alfredo Aranzo, the trainer, the son of Turbo Compressor. Time for a commercial break. When we come back, the late pick 5. Don't go away.
A passion for horses and a commitment to breed champions is the foundation of Hardacre Farm. Founded in 1999 by Amy Tarrant, owner, breeder, and trainer, Hardacre Farm, now based in Ocala, continues its tradition of success. From the Breeders' Cup to Gulfstream Park, Hardacre Farm, from the breeding shed to the racetrack, in pursuit of producing the best.
We have to take care of these horses that, give us so much joy.
Being accredited by the TAA gives us instant credibility.
People trust us even more than they have before because they know that the TAA has been to all of our locations and that our horses are well cared for.
I mean, this farm wouldn't look the way it is, these horses wouldn't look the way they are if it wasn't for the generosity and the hard work of the Aftercare Alliance.
They've united our whole industry in terms of the aftercare movement.
We're all working together for the same purpose.
Back now for race number 6 on the program, the start of today's late pick 5, 1 mile over the main track. Claimers in for a price tag of $6,250. Runner change on 1, Bella Sunrise to Eduardo Nunez. The odds on choice, number 5, Flying Girl. And they're off. Leopard's Hill Road begins well from an outside gate. Flying Girl's away in good shape. US Diva has some added pop today. In fact, US Diva's marching forward to put ahead in front. Leopard's Hill Road will quicken to maintain the lead. Then down at the rail goes Bella Sunrise. Out wide is King of Jack as they run out of the chute. Out of the chute, they run with Leopard's Hill Road in front narrowly. On the outside, King of Jack toward the inside. That's a Bella Sunrise. US Diva is 4th, the favorite Flying Girl in the clear on the outside 5th. Then down at the rail races Canary Green ahead of a second last running Diana's Comprise. And Juan Carlos Diaz is last aboard Asian Moon Lady with less than 5 furlongs to go. The opening quarter, Spirited 23-4. Leopard's Hill Road has an early tussle with Bella Sunrise as they go to the half-mile pole. They're two better than US Diva, who's racing in tandem with King of Jack. 3 wide and on the attack. Here's the favorite, Flying Girl, given the green light. Flying Girl improves sharply now at the 3 furlong point as Meneses tries to work into the clear with US Diva, and he does, and he did it just at the right time to get at racing room and keep Flying Girl wide in the process. So as they run past the 5/16, US Diva and Flying Girl go on. Leopard's Hill Road is back to 3rd and tries to stay with the top pair. Back to 4th and retreating is Bella Sunrise. Then from the back and trying to run on Asian Moon Lady after 3 quarters. In 1:12-2, they're at the top of the stretch. Flying Girl on the outside, US Diva on the inside, shoulder to shoulder. Flying Girl doing the better work at the furlong grounds. Leopard's Hill Road is back to 3rd with Flying Girl now edging away at 3-5. US Diva did everything she could, but she could not match strides with Flying Girl. Flying Girl and Jaramillo to get the job done. It's going to be US Diva 2nd, Leopard's Hill Road 3rd, Bella Sunrise finish 4th.
Number 5, Flying Girl, takes care of business and proves much the best horse in today's 6th race under Amisael Jaramillo for trainer Victor Barboza Jr. and the owner's Flying Horses Investment Group. Number 4, US Diva did everything she could, but she had to settle for 2nd ahead of the 7 Leopard's Hill Road, who ran 3rd. To the 7th race, now we're sprinting on turf to kick off the late pick 4. Maiden Claimers in for a price tag of $50,000. Rider change on 4, Congrats Golda to Luca Panici. Scratch the 8, Blessed Venezuela. A field of 11. Off-time favorite with number 3, Burks Garden.
And they're off. Far outside, La Chica Ripoul gets the first call. Burks Garden comes away in good shape toward the rail. Super Witch has speed. And splitting horses and up to challenges, Congrats Golda as they head to the half-mile pole. La Chica Ripoul trying to work over from the outside draw. Congrats Golda is sandwiched between horses. Super Witch is at the rail. Then it's a gap of 2 to Bernardina to the outside of Burks Garden, who's toward the rail. The favorite's about 4.5 lengths off the lead. Then it's a gap of 3 to the first-timer Flying Emerald. She improves inside of Kitten's Cover Girl. Sold That Sugar is 3 wide. Trying to run on from the back are My Candy Forest and Bappa's Pride. And Ellie Joe, as last of all, as Super Witch now takes over the lead. Super Witch and Tyler Gaffleone off the turn by 2. Burks Garden set down for the drive under John Velasquez, racing in 2nd. A length off the leader with 1/8 of a mile to go. Burks Garden trying to catch Super Witch. Burks Garden is catching Super Witch, and Burks Garden surges to the lead. Burks Garden going away. Super Witch is maybe just holds 2nd, rolling both Flying Emerald and Kitten's Cover Girl in 57-1.
6-1 on the morning line, but the better sniffed her out as the one to beat, and they were right. Number 3, Burks Garden rallies off cover to get the victory for a red-hot John Velasquez and Hall of Famer Bill Mott. Owned by Michael Offer and WD Cubbage, Burks Garden, race 7 winner. Number 1, Super Witch was 2nd ahead of 2, Flying Emerald, who's definitely one for the list. She finished full of run while finishing 3rd. To the 8th race now, the start of the late pick 3 on turf at 1 mile. An allowance optional claiming event for Florida-bred fillies and mares. Scratch number 9, Xena Rules, a field of 8. Odds-on favorite number 6, Warranty.
And they're off. From the inside, Leona gets the first call from Cashless Society, who moves to be 2nd. Admiral's Win splits horses and will land 3rd. Devilish Romance is toward the rail. Out wide on the course is OKK trying to drop over. Then back to Warranty and Pop's Irish Rose. And the early trailer is the stretch running Big Darling. Around the first turn they go, and just like last time, jockey Nick Juarez will let Leona roll. She leads it by 3 over Cashless Society, the nearest pursuer 2nd. Admiral's Win is 3rd, to the outside OKK 4th. Devilish Romance at the inside 5th, and to the fence it's the favorite Warranty. Pop's Irish Rose is on her outside, and the trailer is a Big Darling. That's the 8 of them through the opening quarter in 23-4, and it's 7-1. It's Leona doing it as much as she can early. She's opened a 4-length lead now. Cashless Society 2nd, Admiral's Win 3rd, OKK 4th. On the outside in Pop's Irish Rose, Warranty held up between horses. Not an optimum spot for her. She'll have to get out from there. And at the back of the field, Big Darling with Devilish Romance along the rail. They leave the backstretch and move on to the far turn. Leona has the lead. The lead is only 3 parts of a length. Into the 2 path comes Jose Bautista on Admiral's Win. She's 2nd. Cashless Society 3rd. OKK moves sharply at the rail for Jimenez. Then Warranty to the outside and Pop's Irish Rose. No place to go for Devilish Romance, and they're at the top of the stretch. Leona tries to repel the stretch challenges. OKK with a dream throw through on the inside, and Warranty shakes free for the drive with 1/8 of a mile left to go. With the lead is now OKK. Warranty surging at her on the outside. Warranty's got her. Warranty in time. Second, OKK. Close third, Admiral's Win or Big Darling in 1:37 flat.
Well, the Chad Brown train is just getting out of the station, but begins to pick up some steam as the daughter of Artie Schiller, Warranty, rallies for the score under Tyler Gaffleone for Clairvitch Stables and owner William Lawrence. 7 OKK got a perfect trip, just got nailed by the favorite out of the 5 Admiral's Win, who was best of the rest, while third. Time for a commercial timeout. The late daily double is still to come. Don't go away. We're on the turf to close the card right after this.
Crossing the finish line for the last time can mean an uncertain future for many horses. Recognizing the need for a dignified retirement, the racing industry has made racehorse aftercare a top priority. In partnership with Gulfstream Park and the Florida Horsemen's Association, Florida Track provides retraining and adoption services for retired racehorses. Thanks to their efforts, the end of a racing career can signal the beginning of a new career in show jumping, trail riding, police work, even therapy for children and veterans. However, good intentions do not come without cost. As a nonprofit organization, Florida Track relies on tax-deductible donations and volunteers to help pay for feed, training, housing, and veterinary care. To find out how you can help, contact Florida Track today. Your support will go a long way towards a new beginning.
Back now for the 9th race, first half of the late daily double on the turf at 7.5 furlong trip. Claimers in for a price tag of $16,000. Scratch the 5 and the 9, a field of 10. The off-time favorites included the 6, Sistine Sista, and the 11, LeRoy's Mommy.
And they're off. Bill's Legacy from the far outside wins the start. Sistine Sista has speed. She's right again in perfect state, making a party. These 4 cross the course. Then back to the gray Lulu Bell, who races from 5th. It's a gap of 3 more to LeRoy's Mommy. Followed outside by Court Central. Saving ground is Degrees of Freedom toward the rail. Racing second last, while a bit wide, Elizabeth's Vow. And the early trailer is Quinta Tata. Around the first turn, separated by about 10 lengths. And up front, Bill's Legacy from the 12 post leads by almost 2. Perfect State second, Sistine Sista third. She's right again in the line blinkers, taken in hand to be 4th, 3 in front of Lulu Bell in 5th. Then back to LeRoy's Mommy, who works clear from Court Central and Degrees of Freedom. Elizabeth's Vow's on the outside, second last, and still nothing from Quinta Tata. That's the 10 of them as they race to the half-mile mark through the opening quarter in a spirited 23-1. Bill's Legacy still has the lead. Perfect State is second on the outside. Sistine Sista gets started. She's in the red cap and beginning to move forward through a 47-second half-mile. She's right again. We'll have to wait for racing room toward the rail. LeRoy's Mommy begins to run on from 5th. So does Court Central. Then comes Elizabeth's Vow getting around Lulu Bell. Degrees of Freedom is next, and they're at the top of the stretch. Bill's Legacy maintains the lead. Sistine Sista second. She's right again. Comes off cover to try to track down the leader. Then at the inside in Perfect State running on Elizabeth's Vow down the center, Court Central. Final furlong, LeRoy's Mommy coming after the leader, who is still Bill's Legacy. Bill's Legacy in front. LeRoy's Mommy surging on the outside. And LeRoy's Mommy and Tyler Gaffleone power home to win it. Bill's Legacy second, Elizabeth's Vow third. Court Central nails She's Right Again for 4th. And then Degrees of Freedom in 1:30-1.